This is UMAR AHMED for IFL TV in association with MTK Global. John, tell them where we're at.
We're at Hedges Lawns. We're at the place to be, mate. This is where you get your lawns done, I'm telling you.
Yeah, it's a beautiful place, this. You're telling me the generations of Hedges have lived throughout here, so your granddad and dad are here, but your great-granddad, etc. have all lived here, John.
Oh, yeah, this has been our yard, Hedges' yard, for 70, 80 years, so... yeah, it's just, we've never moved, love it, all of us here, got like family here, it's perfect, do you know what I mean, it's brilliant.
John, I didn't really think I was going to start here, but you just told me a story off camera, a moment where you were told that you're never going to box again. Just describe the story again. So
basically, it was a year and a half ago now, just before the youth championships. I woke up, normal, boxed 2 weeks ago, in 2 weeks before it happened, in Germany, won the Schwerin Box Cup, all fine, done everything good, then literally come back, went to bed. 2 weeks later, woke up, my face and my eye had all come down one side, and it looked like, to be fair, I had a stroke. Honestly, it was the worst thing. My mum panicked, everyone's looking at me like, oh, he's had a stroke in his sleep, you alright? It's fine, do you know what I mean, finding myself, but I couldn't, my whole like lip dropped down, so I couldn't talk properly, and then they literally, we went, alright, get him to the hospital, went to hospital. There's a thing called Bell's palsy, which I was telling you about earlier, and it's when muscle tissue, just from, it can be from stress, it can be from anything, it can be, you could have a cold and catch it, do you know what I mean, you can get it. If muscle tissue in your face gives way. I sat in there, it was all fine, I had no problems, went in there, a trainee nurse was on, and the trainees, I'm getting told by the proper doctor first, yeah, you'll be fine, I'm going to give you some steroids to bring your face back up, but there'll be no grief. And then that trainee nurse has walked in, literally my mum there, dad there, I'm sitting there, and she's gone, have you told him the news? So the doctor's gone, no, what news? Like, I don't know what you're on about. And she was, she just like, oh, he's got like a blood clot in his brain. Well, blamed it on boxing straight away. As soon as they knew I was a boxer, blamed it straight through the fight, and yeah, he's got to have an operation tomorrow. So literally, that's, do you know what I mean? Mum's nearly passed out in the place. Honestly, it was bad. Oh, I've got tears running down my eyes. I was thinking, this is me done. And literally, that moment there, that was me boxing done. You couldn't think about that. Do you know what I mean? It's life, health's more important than your fighting. And yeah, gave up in the hospital bed. Next morning, trainee nurse was on. She went home. Real doctor come in. So sorry, she's made a mistake. Looked at the diagrams wrong. So, do you know what I mean? It's just ups and downs. But mentally, that took me to pieces.
So 16-year-old. And that was?
Yeah, 16, yeah. So the
next...
yeah, just turned 17, tell a lie.
Just turned 17?
Yeah, just turned 17.
So then the next day you found out you can box again?
Yeah.
Wow.
And then all my dreams come back. I was going, oh, I just wanted a pro debut, that's all I wanted. I was everything, do you know what I mean? Everything it just puts things in reality at the end of the day. Boxing's a passion, but your health's first. And as soon as if it starts hurting your health, then that's when you start calling it a day.
Well, everyone who's heard your name in boxing knows you've got a stellar amateur record. I think, what, 45 fights, yeah?
44, 140.
It's not bad at all, is it?
No, yeah, we had a good amateur career. Started at Repton Boxing Club, moved to Hoddesdon with Sab Leo, great, cracking coach, all my success there, UMAR. 4 national titles, 7 international titles, been around the world to be fair. And although no senior fights, I've boxed men. I went in under 19 boxing for England. In the Schwerin Box Cup, beat two German internationals. Yeah, so I've been about, do you know what I mean? Even though there's not hundreds of fights, I've had 44, but they're all experienced fights. I must have had 3 club shows. Everything else is either international or in championship, so it's all good, do you know what I mean?
Did you not consider carrying on with that amateur record? Building it up?
Obviously, yeah. Like, everyone had that Olympic dream, and between us, well, not between us, like, I got given an email, got picked for the European Games. So in my head, I was going Euros 2020, Montenegro. That was my dream. Get gold out there. World Games this year as well. So everything was working. Then coronavirus come about, and Mick Driscoll, the head of England, actually emailed me. He's like, John, yeah, we'll get through this, but between you and me, if you're struggling to make your weight, you might want to look up building up to light heavy 81s in the amateurs, and doing the Europeans at them. So I thought, this ain't right. If he's saying that to me now, then there's definitely, he knows a bit more than he's letting on. And that was what the case was. In 2 weeks later, I was on the last prep camp for the Europeans, and they said they cancelled. And then I just started looking. Do you know what I mean? I was interested in turning pro. My dream was always turning over, but I thought if I have a year out, it's not going to do me no good. And things just started happening. I got in contact with Sam Jones, and it just went from there. Within 3 weeks, I went from having the mindset of being a European gold medalist and going to the World Games to wanting to become the best pro there is.
Of course, it looks like you've got 11 degrees on board already.
Yeah.
You've got Eddie Hearn who signed you. But let's talk about your management first, because arguably that's the most important person in your career, your management. Why Sam Jones? Was it when you met him like for the first time? Was it an instant thought, I've got to go with him, or did you take time to consider it?
Sam, there was no consideration, to be honest with you. He invited me. It come from a video in the amateurs Tom Little posted. Me being me flash self, just like boxing on a back foot and giving it the alley shuffle and just proper showing off. Do you know what I mean? Enjoying me boxing. And yeah, Sam see the video and he said, when you're ready to talk, let's talk. But it weren't nothing. He weren't forcing it on me. Do you know what I mean? It was just, if you're ready, like, let's see what you're all about. So I jumped straight at it. It was someone who was a face in boxing to me personally. I knew him, so to me that's a face straight away. And I just wanted to get involved. He offered me a meeting in London with Adam Morrell, the other half of SJAM. Went up there, and it was just, you could see what the people was about. They were proper business people, and they was good at what they're good at what they do. Adam as well, what a character, absolute gentleman. Sam as well. Obviously, I couldn't ask for a better management anymore, to be fair. And with brutally honest, they're what's made me into the professional mindset I've got now. Because Sam behind you, come on, if you want him with you, you don't want him against you. You know what he's like, don't you? Do you know what I mean? He what a man to have by your side and backing you. So yeah, it was brilliant.
He's flying, to be fair. Obviously, Joe Joyce is spearheading his team at the moment, and then a massive prospect like yourself, great amateur record, big ticket seller in Florian Marco. He's flying, Sam. He's
smashing it, and it's all because he's not greedy. He don't want 100 fighters. He said that. He's made that clear. He said 10 maximum. I think obviously he's 7th signing, so there's 7 of us at the moment, and he's going for quality, not quantity. Do you know what I mean? It's a family what we got there, and I honestly believe every fighter coming out of SJAM is going to make a name for themselves.
Well, in terms of yourself, yeah, putting all that trust in Sam. I know you said it was an instant thing. That's a big decision still. It's a big decision.
Very big decision. I went there with my dad actually. I was 17 when I went and spoke to Sam. Just not no contract signing, just literally getting to know each other. And my dad come with me. I said, come with us, Dad, just for this one. I said, let's see what it's all about. And he clocked with me straight away. And for your dad to clock with someone straight away as well, just made the thing so much better. And he had the same. He was looking at boxing the same way as I was. I was sitting there. And I said, obviously, I want to go all the way, but it's easy. Everyone can say that. Do you know what I mean? Everyone can say, I want to be world champion. But I said, I don't want to rush things. I want to take things slowly and develop as a boxer. And he had the exact same mindset. So that's why we clicked, and that's why the paperwork was signed, and I'm with SJAM now.
You're going to turn over at super middleweight. You're 6'5". We were just having a chat about this as well off camera. Surely light heavyweight and cruiserweight even one day for you.
Definitely. I want to win. I want to win everything at every weight, to be honest. But super middleweight, as you know, being 6'5", it's hard to make. I'm not going to kid everyone and go, oh, I'm going to be super middleweight, win a world title there. Realistically, with my body type, you've seen me dad, they're all big people, aren't they? Like, they're big set, so I don't think I'm going to be none of these little kids. I think time I start filling out, getting my man strength and getting my maturity, I'm definitely going to be a light heavy. And I think that's where the light heavy is where I'm going to show my class, because I know I can make super middle, so I know I can make light heavy even with a bit of muscle on me. And I believe I'll do a lot in the light heavies, and then definitely cruiserweight and even heavy. Just see how the thing goes and see what fights I get, and that's the main thing. And just take one step at a time.
So with your name, I've heard slick, evasive, but obviously you're going to be very rangy. Are those the attributes I think that are going to shine for you in your pro career, John?
Yeah, I like to say I've got a boxer's mindset. I don't listen. Everyone loves to knock people out, but unless I see the opportunity, I'm not going to rush it. Being so tall, you put yourself in such an open position to get caught yourself. And whether you're fighting a journeyman or an experienced fighter who's class, they're all in there. They can all punch. Do you know what I mean? If you get caught clean, I'm not deluded. I know at my age it's going to be a mindset. If I come in there and hit me, it's going to be
Oh, let's talk about that actually. So yeah, you was going to pick me up from the train station, then I got a call from you.
Mate,
saying your van's was it a lorry that went into it?
Yeah, skip lorry, 20-ton skip. Just come round the corner and it's just wiped me straight out. Girlfriend in the car, and oh mate, honestly, I didn't even know what I was going to do. I was going to bail you up and say, I don't know what I'm going to say. I'm going to pay for your taxi or something. But yeah, that's all getting sorted now, thank God. So that's the main thing. And main thing is we're all alright. Man's owned up to it being his fault, so.
Didn't get hurt, so
no, that's it, exactly. None of us have hurt. We're all here, all sweet and healthy, so it's good.
I know you can't tell me too much on this, but you've got a fight date basically penciled in, yeah, John?
Yeah, me and my team know a rough fight date when to be ready for. I'm sure it's going to be announced soon, so watch this space and yeah, get on the Instagram, people.
John, let's go back to your style quickly. There's a ton of super middleweights at the moment. Would you say, because of the height and the range, you're going to have a bit of Callum Smith in you, but also that slick southpaw, a bit of Billy Joe in you? Do you think that's a fair combination?
It's a big name to live up to, but I definitely think I'll be, yeah. That's exactly, if I could explain how I want to be and how I'm not perfect, obviously, I'm getting there. Each day I'm getting a bit better, but I'd love to be the mix between them two. I think they're two great fighters, two great styles. Listen, Callum Smith is a tall, rangy fighter, but can bang as well. And I think that's what people underestimate. They think, oh, he's just this tall fighter. He fights. Tall boxer. Sorry, he fights. So, watching videos of him, like when you back someone up in a corner, for example, UMAR, I don't want to be falling in. I want to be pushing them off and finding me shots and picking them, and that's what I'm all about. So.
Now you've got the name Gentleman.
Yeah.
Right. When you get to 10-0, 15-0, hopefully, there's going to be other super middleweights at your level, calling your name out, etc. What do you think you'll be like in them situations, at press conferences, etc.? People giving you stick. Are you still going to be Gentleman, John?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I thrive off that, UMAR. I love a bit of. I'm hoping to God, like even in my first fight, I hope the man's got a bit tanked to him. Do you know what I mean? I hope that he comes there with the intentions to get him the head or something, because I just thrive off it. I love a bit of confrontation. I don't give it the big mouth fun. I don't do none of the swearing, the pushing job and all that.
But what if someone's giving it to you?
Let them do it. I'll give them an hiding in the ring. Do you know what I mean? That's the way I've always looked at it, and I swear to you, I live by it. That only gets me pumped up more. It only makes me, in my head, I'll go to bed easier, thinking, now he's going to get what's coming to him. Now he's drew this fight on, and yeah, I hope to God, like I say, that the build-up is as good as like some of the best ones.
So you'll be cool, calm, collected in the build-up. Is that what you're saying?
Cool, calm, and collected. I'll have me little cheeky bits to say, but nothing. Do you know what I mean? None of this swearing job and all that. I'm not about all that. So yeah, I won't be raising my voice, but just take the nice chilled aspect to it.
I know it's hard to say now because you haven't been in that situation. I suppose in the amateurs you've been in high pressure situations, but when you get to them big world title fights, etc., headlining bills, do you think you'll raise your game? How do you think you'll handle the pressure, John?
I think, like I say, I do think I thrive with the pressure. When I spar, even with that, the better the opponent, the better I normally spar. I don't. It's like that fighting down thing, is what the saying was. You go in there always to do your best. So when you're in with someone not as good as you, you either blow them out the water or you don't perform. And I believe I will be taking them out the game. However, like in a different style. Like if the fighter's there just to be hit, then maybe let's make him look stupid. Do you know what I mean? Like let's box, be clever, be pretty to watch, and then that fighter who's there to run, let's catch him on the way back and let's put him away. So in the bigger fights, when they're standing there with you, I think it's just more of a chance to let your shots off and just to stay sharp. It gets you switched on from the start.
Now, you're starting your pro journey with Eddie Hearn. I'm sure there were a load of promoters who were interested in you. Why Eddie?
To be honest, though, he was the one. If anyone said to me from 10 years onwards when I started getting proper interested in the boxing, Eddie's the man. People who don't know boxing know Eddie Hearn. That's what I've always said from the start. Frank, great promoter. I've got nothing against Frank Warren, and I think even with them two, you can't go wrong. I think you've got a great career, whether you sign with Frank, whether you sign with Eddie. But me personally, as everyone's got to have their opinion, it was always Eddie Hearn.
Okay.
And listen, Essex boy as well, do you know what I mean?
Is that where you're from, yeah?
Yeah, so this actually comes under Essex.
What?
Right? Yeah, this comes under Essex.
Is it?
Mad, yeah, mad, isn't it?
All right,
So,
because you said you lived here all life, and then you said you're an Essex boy, so that didn't make sense. But this is Essex.
Yeah, this comes under Essex. Yeah, so if you go to Bishop Stortford, where your train was, that's Essex as well.
Shit.
Yeah, so it's all like borderlines, and then like you hit what people obviously extend about Essex is Basildon and that, innit? Like,
yeah.
That's like where they say, oh, it's proper Essex and Southend and that. But yeah, this is still borderline.
Quiet part of Essex.
Yeah, quiet part. It's out the way. It's in the sticks, but like it's perfect for training. To be fair, you've got a load of forest, and you loads of back roads. Smash your motor up on there.
You've got a home gym.
Yeah, home gym. Yeah, so yeah, it's nice here. It's out the way, and to be fair, for me, I think that's the best thing because distractions at my age. Anyone who said they don't get distracted is lying. Do you know what I mean? They're 18 years old, just driving, just doing things like that. You want to get a belt, but yeah, I'm lucky. I'm out the way. I can go meet my mates and come out the way from it after. So it's nice.
How do you think you're going to handle that when the fame starts coming in, the purses get bigger, the nights out start coming? How do you think you'll handle it?
I think I handle it good. I'm luckily enough to have a lovely girlfriend, be all settled that way. And yeah, with things like that happening, it's not really like I'm out there looking for it. Do you know what I mean? I still enjoy myself. I've got a good set of mates around me, and yeah, I don't need to. I've never been one to look for a buzz. Do you know what I mean? I can get a kick out of just going out of a pub, not drinking, having a couple of games of pool. So I'm lucky like that. I don't look for nothing. But yeah, I can't see it being a problem. Hopefully I'll get to that level that I start earning them purses, that it becomes a problem. But yeah, that's the main thing.
So what do you get up to day to day then? What does John Hedges do apart from the training?
Day to day, I've not long been a full-time boxer, if I'm honest. It's been about 6-7 weeks. Before I was working Monday to Friday, building site, so 7:30 till 5 o'clock, for actually one of my main sponsors, Foxley. The owner of the Foxley Group, Kevin Gregory, honestly, he deserves so much praise. He's gone above and beyond. He makes sure I can train full time. He supports me with my kit. Cracking fella. Even when I was working, he was keeping that into consideration, knowing that I was going to the gym. He was looking after me on site, and also done an apprenticeship in carpentry, which I had that to fall back on. And it weren't like one of them ones where it's like, oh, just get on with it. You can labour for today. He helped you. So yeah, and without him, I couldn't be doing what I'm doing now.
Now, John, you come from a travelling family. Do you feel responsibility because the likes of Tyson Fury, Billy Joe Saunders, Andy Lee have done so much with travellers in recent time and have been leading the forefront of boxing? Tyson and Billy in British boxing, Andy Lee in Irish boxing. Do you feel that sense of I've got to carry this on, or is that not there?
Do you know what? I think if there was like my cousin or my brother, my uncle was saying, I'd feel that, but I don't feel the pressure in that sense. You have that kind of pressure with the boxing, being a traveller from an amateur as well. You go to amateur shows, travelling boxing is taking over amateurs. Well, they are, well, we are like the community, what we're bred to fight kind of thing.
But a lot of them don't make it to the professional level, do they?
They don't, and that's purely because of drink, girls, driving, and that is, honestly, there's no excuse other than that. We're brought up a bit above our age, so like a lot of people say like a 10-year-old travelling boy is a 15-year-old non-traveller. Do you know what I mean?
Well, yeah, meet Dennis McCann's little brothers.
Meet Dennis McCann's little brothers. Exactly the point. You're above your age, and where you are above your age, you start doing things before others. Like Dennis, you can ask him yourself. When I was down Repton with him, he'd get on a train at 12-year-old on his own from, I can't even remember where he was stopping at now, but it was a good hour and a half train ride. Do you know what I mean?
But without his dad, yeah.
That was dad. And that's why the boy's going to be something special as well, because of them things. You take yourself out, and to a certain degree, my lot would let me do the same. If it was going training, not to that extent. Personally, I was a bit more stricter. But if it was sat doing me boxing, and he knew I had my head switched on, like 12-year-old, he'd say, "You're like a 16-year-old now. You go do what you got to do." And I think that's why the boxing, when you get to that age, when you're 16, you're like a 20-year-old. You want to start looking at settling down. You want to start doing things that the 20-year-olds are doing, and that is why people pack up. And that's especially the travelling community.
Are they inspirations for you though, Andy Lee, Tyson Fury, Billy Joe?
Andy Lee, to be honest, UMAR was from a baby who I was watching. I love Tyson. Tyson and Andy was my main ones. Billy Joe though, I'm not taking nothing away from him. Do you know what I mean? He's absolutely great. But it's just who I was watching. Tyson, I had a thing. I went to his second pro fight because I went dinner to my dad. I said I've got to go see this man after watching his debut. And honestly, I stood in, everyone's asking for pictures and that, and he picked me up out of the blue, out of all of them, picked me up one arm because I was too small to get on the camera with him, where he was too tall, picked me up, got a photo done, and it was from that minute, do you know what I mean, that's your idol then. And Andy Lee the same, we boxed out of Repton, it was Andy's brother who used to train me, Roger.
Okay.
So it was always like, show me what his brother done, and you just base your style on him. And if you see how I fight, listen, I'm not saying I'm no Andy Lee yet, because I'm not, but I try to use his style. I keep me even me lay down. That sometimes floats. I let me lay down, float a bit, but backhand's always tight to me chin. And he's a southpaw as well. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, he's a great role model for boxing as well.
Hopefully, he can be a big as puncher as Andy Lee as well.
Oh, tell me about it. Body snatcher, wasn't he as well? So yeah.
Where do you see yourself in a couple of years, John? I know it's hard. You haven't made your professional debut yet. Hopefully, by the end of this year, you have maybe 2 or 3 fights, John, under ready. But where do you see yourself in 2 or 3 years?
2-3 years time, I'd love to see myself pushing for some titles, but I'd look at British by 2-3 years time, if not world. But you say British was your realistic, but world is your dream. And I believe if you look for the world title, then you'll get the opportunity. Charlie Edwards had a. Do you remember when he took the step up? I know it didn't. Casemiro didn't come off, but if that did come off, he'd achieved that in 2 years. So that can always happen. And it was a last call, and he went and put himself in there. And he had more balls getting in there than anyone. Do you know what I mean? He went in there, put himself in there, and he done it. It didn't pay off, but he got his time and it come. But yeah, I want to take things slow, and I want to take them nice and steady. I want to get plenty of experience behind me before I start pushing on. Being young, I'm 18. Do you know what I mean? So I don't want to rush things. But however, I'm still pushing. I want to be up there with the best as soon as possible. Just
before we end, as I mentioned, that there's going to be loads of things that happen on the way: fame, money.
Please God.
Of course, you want all that. British titles, English titles, world titles. There's going to be highs, there's going to be lows. What's the one most important thing to you? Like, what's going to be the most important thing to you in your career?
Most important thing,
if you could pick one.
To get from my career, when I'm finished. To be honest with you, out of everything in my career, I just hope that, it sounds cliche and that, but I hope that me and my family are all set up by the end of it. I'm healthy. Everyone around me is healthy. And I'll leave something in boxing. I'd love to leave a bit of legacy. I'd love for people to be like I'm talking about Andy Lee and Tyson Fury. I'd love for another young boy in 10 years' time to say, God, I'd like to box like John Hedges. So that to me, that does you right there, doesn't it? Do you know what I mean? That's a bit of pride. And the main thing is that you get something from this sport, not just a broken nose and a broken knuckle, that you get a bit of money and you get yourself set up. I'm not saying being flash, but it's lovely to say I've got a house was mortgage free and it's all sorted for me, and then when I'm ready to go, I can sell that to me. Children can have that, and then they can have that bit of money, and they've always got somewhere to come back to. So that's the main thing I want to. That's the main thing I want to get out of this.
So come out healthy, financial security, but then what I got out of that as well, you want your name to be remembered. I
want to be remembered. Yeah, I'm a boxing encyclopedia. I'm mad about boxing. So I want to. By the time I finish, I'd love for me to be up there. I'd love for it. I'd love for someone to open a book and say, "There's John Hedges. What a fighter he was." Make me career. Make me life.
All right, John Hedges, thank you very much for talking to IFL TV at the Hedges household.
Love it.
I'm sure we'll catch up soon and get another one when you've got a fight date confirmed, which I think is going to be soon. Yeah,
it's coming. Just keep tuning, people. Obviously, my Instagram, John Hedges 1. That's got everything on. Just hit me up on that and give me a week or two, I reckon. I'm not sure though.
All right, top man, mate.
Nice to know you. Thank you, mate.